Well, good morning. How you doing? Happy Friday. We've made it to the end of the week, and I welcome you to Mindful Mornings with Minnassa. Now, usually I film this when I'm in my PJs and it's like, did you sleep in your jewelry and stuff? No, today I'm in the afterglow, or this evening, and you'll be seeing this Friday morning, in the afterglow of being on Shenita's show, Future Focus Wellness Coaching. And it was awesome. And we talked about spirituality in the black community and how oftentimes the fear and the guilt that is part of the African American church keeps people of color from exploring their spirituality, for tapping in to even mindfulness. But, well, that's Buddhism, and you're taking people away from God. And it's like, and so I just, as I do, spoke from my heart about um, how white Americans are so good at monetizing stuff, where we're like, oh no, this is sacred, I'm not gonna monetize. They're like, I'm making tens of millions of dollars off of that. And then we get angry, and it's like, we've got to know our value. And that in the midst of us as African Americans, we've got to hold space for each other. We've got to continue to do our healing. We've got to speak against patriarchy and misogyny in our own community. But we always have to remember that in the end, we are one community: black, white, purple, yellow, green, whatever. But the healing starts within and with ourselves. So Shenita asked me that for someone who's African American that's wanting to take a step into spirituality and to release the many negative aspects of the traditional church. I don't hate the church. I go to church every Sunday when I can, but I go to a unity church or a center for spiritual living. I do not do traditional churches. She asked what would be that soft step, and I'm like, Oprah, my girl. She is that soft step. Get her magazine. It'll introduce you to opening your mind to spirituality, to working on your spiritual health, on self-care, all those things that are a part of being empowered and knowing your value. And so we talked about Reverend Michael Beckwith, that going to Agape, listening to him, Inyanla Vanzant. But I don't consider all of those to be beginners. I do consider Oprah to be a soft step forward. And so I will include those links, and I will also include the link to Shenita's show. And again, thank you, sweet lady, for opening your sacred space and allowing me to come in and be all bold and brash like I always am. And so our reading today comes from none other than Oprah Winfrey, What I Know for Sure. And this is from her section on connection. When you make loving others the story of your life, there's never a final chapter, because the legacy continues. You lend your light to one person, and he or she shines it on another and another and another. And I know for sure that in the final analysis of our lives, when the to-do lists are no more, when the frenzy is finished, when our email inboxes are empty, the only thing that will have any lasting value is whether we loved others and whether they loved us. And so for African American women who are wanting, and men who are wanting to leave the traditional church and to explore our native spirituality that came with us when we were robbed from our motherland, but has always been within us, start with Oprah. I have the links for Michael Beckwith and Inyanla Vanzant. And then in the end, it's love. Self-love for ourselves, self-love for our community, self-love for our nation, self-love for our ethnicity, and then love for all those around us. Love truly, in my opinion, is the way. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Thank you for joining me here. Thank you again to my special guest host this week, who was Lisa, that just knocked it out of the park. And I still got one more for y'all next week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. They're so encouraging. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am grateful for you. And I love you, for I see the divine within.